50 laps, green flag out for our Fantastic Sam's front open wheel modifieds. Fantastic Sam's, 2 locations in front, Fort Wayne, bringing you the open wheel modifieds, and your leader is Mike Mays. Trouble in the middle of the pack. One car got sideways, saved it now. Over the top and spinning is Derek Hoffman. Russ Miller got tagged, and a huge save by Miller, but Derek Hoffman was thinking he was going to have to find some high cotton to hide in. Back from the fence. Yes, that's you. Green flag out. Mike May, Steve Slater Jr. side by side out of turn number 2, and down the backstretch they go. Watch those white cars, the 28's in the middle of the pack and the 37 of Minnick. Watch them climb their way forward. Mays off turn 4 at the start-finish line, leads lap 1. Lap 1 to Mike Mays. Around the outside, Steve Slater Jr. keeps him honest. Then Matt Dimmitt, the 7, the 9 of Corey Nuttall, all in a box off turn number 4. Then Russ Miller 5th. Brent Martin in car number 2 runs 6th place. Don Skaggs tries to come up around the outside of Pete Warmcastle. Still side by side with the lead. Side by side for 3rd as well. First 2 rows still in formation. Back into 1, and Mays shoots out by a car length. Down the backstretch, Matt Dimmitt tries to follow through on the inside. Here comes Russ Miller in 19. Steve Slater in 15, Corey Nuttall in 9, stuck on the outside. Down low, the train starts to move. Now Nuttall into the back of Slater. We're briefly 3 wide out of 2. Everybody hard on the brakes. Mike Mays the race lead. Matt Dimmitt 2nd, Russ Miller 3rd. Corey Nuttall runs 4th. Steve Slater Jr. on the outside in car number 15, starting to lose positions. Down low comes the 2 of Brent Martin. 09, Don Skaggs, 37, Steve Minnick, 28, Terry Fisher Jr. all charging up the inside. Corey Nuttall bounces his way to the inside, looking for 3rd on the 19 of Russ Miller. Down in turn number 1, couple of cars, tangle, 3 cars into turn number 1. Harold Johnson in 00, the 80 of Ralph. Last race of the year, cold conditions, been a bit of a hard struggle to get through tonight's races. We're back under green. Look out, Harold Johnson in the 1 and 2 out of shape, saves it. We stay green. Mike Mays the race lead. Look at Russ Miller in the 19, beating on his rear bumper, trying to say, let me go. Up the inside comes Miller for 2nd place. Matt Dimmitt on the outside in car number 7, hangs on to 3rd. Now Dimmitt going to get freight train. Down the inside comes the 9 of Corey Nuttall. Brent Martin tries to get in there before that hole closes up on him, and it does. Terry Fisher Jr. in the red, white, and blue 28 charges up the inside. He'll take 5th away from the car number 2 of Brent Martin. 37 of Steve Minnick Jr. trying to follow Terry Fisher through. Big problems out of turn number 4. John Tapp in car number 1. Something comes unglued in that one. Looks like the engine went in car 1. Yellow flag out. John Tapp, car number 1. Looks like it came unglued on him. Green flag back out. Miller on the outside trying to chase Mays into turn 1. Russ Miller having to do it the hard way up on the outside line. Down low, Mike Mays with the lead. Nuttall goes to 3rd, Matt Dimmitt 4th. Nuttall and Miller get together. That lets Mays break free out front. Mike Mays, Russ Miller 1st and 2nd, Corey Nuttall 3rd, Matt Dimmitt 4th, Terry Fisher Jr. 5th, then Brent Martin and Steve Minnick Jr. Mays still out front with the lead. Mike Mays with the lead. Corey Nuttall comes up the inside of Russ Miller looking for 2nd place. Miller slides way high out of turn 2. Going to cost him back to 5th and maybe farther. Terry Fisher Jr. comes to 3rd. Matt Dimmitt 4th. Right rear tire may be heating up on the 19 of Miller. Now Minnick moves up a spot, and here comes Brent Martin. Russ Miller had dreams of the race lead, now back to 6th and backsliding through the field. Martin 7th, Warmcastle 8th, Coe 9th, Don Skaggs 10th. Mays, Nuttall, and Fisher Jr. back into turn 1 and 2. Miller still now trouble. Don Skaggs into the 28 of Scott Cohen goes around. Couple of more cars get spun behind it. Yellow flag out. Don Skaggs in the 09, 28 Scott Coe get together. Steve Slater Jr. 15, Ralph Baxter 80, Harold Johnson 00. Scott Coe 28, 09 Don Skaggs, green flag out. Harold Johnson Jr. spinning on the restart and sliding into the tires, caution out. Green flag out. Mike Mays down low, up around the outside, still Corey Nuttall. Mays and Nuttall for the lead, and Mays with a right turn down the backstretch shuts the door on Corey Nuttall. Nuttall shows his displeasure by showing the bumper to the 72 of Mays. Meanwhile, right behind them comes Terry Fisher Jr. Matt Dimmitt fighting for 4th place with the 37 of Steve Minnick Jr. Then it's the 19 of Russ Miller behind them. Give Minnick 4th place. Not been a good night for track champion Scott Coe, trying to work his way forward in that red and white 28. Scott's son looking to move up into street stocks. We're here testing Wednesday night, ended up crashing the car. Look for him to race here next season. Russ Miller slides up the racetrack again. Down the inside comes car number 9, Pete Warmcastle. Move Warmcastle up to 6th place. Miller back to 7th. Mike Mays the lead, Corey Nuttall 2nd, right behind him. 2 Vipers looking to strike, the 28 of Terry Fisher Jr., the 37 of Steve Minnick Jr. Mays with a couple of wins this year. Fisher with several wins this year. Minnick with a win. Nuttall trying to break through. Matt Dimmitt still 5th place. Back in the field, Scott Coe comes to the outside of Jonathan Gatton. Rolling around the outside, Terry Fisher Jr. sweeps around Corey Nuttall, picks up 2nd place. Terry Fisher Jr. likes that outside through 1 and 2. Sweeps around Nuttall, now tries to come up on the race leader. Steve Minnick Jr. takes his car to the outside as well. Scott Coe getting unwound in traffic a bit, drives around Jack Moore, comes up on the 7 of Jerry Hammond for the lead. Comes Terry Fisher Jr. Mike Mays, Terry Fisher Jr. drive hard back into 1 and 2, side by side for the lead. Mays hangs on. Minnick sweeps around the outside of Corey Nuttall looking for 3rd. Gives Steve Minnick Jr. 3rd. Nuttall back to 4th. Dimmitt still 5th. Pete Warmcastle runs 6th, car 9. Then it's Russ Miller, Brent Martin, Derek Hoffman. Spin! Jonathan Gatton goes around, gets collected by Baxter. Then Baxter is tattooed by the 15 of Slater. Caution out. Terry Fisher Jr. now up on the outside in car 28. Coming to the restart. Green flag. Back in the air. We're back to racing. Mike Mays down low, up high. Terry Fisher Jr. side by side for the lead. Steve Minnick Jr. right behind him. Then Corey Nuttall halfway through. 25 in, 25 to go. New leader, Terry Fisher Jr. Terry Fisher Jr. in the Bob Coe Tribute Hall of Fame car. Now trouble down in turn 1 and 2. Jack Moore, Jerry Hammond get together, block the racetrack, caution out. Late models still to come. And Martial Law, if they're still awake. Here they come through 3 and 4. Coming to green. Green flag out. Little bit of a wild restart. Fisher leads down the backstretch. Steve Minnick Jr. up the inside. He'll come through for second. Here comes Corey Nuttall. Nuttall tries to bounce around the 72 of Mike Mays. And Nuttall. Mays tried to get back to the bottom, and Nuttall said, no, you're not. Forced his way in. Takes over third. Mays back to fourth. Dimmitt then fifth. Pete Wormcastle sits sixth place. Side by side behind them. Brent Martin in the 2. Russ Miller 19, then Scott Coe 28. Terry Fisher Jr. the race lead. Steve Minnick Jr. right behind him. Those two juniors out front setting sail on this field. Nuttall, then Mays, then Dimmitt. Russ Miller in the 19 continues to be stuck on the outside. Now loses that spot to Brent Martin. Scott Coe going to work up the inside. Coe working his way back up through the field. Picks 8th place away from the 19 of Russ Miller. Terry Fisher, Steve Minnick Jr. still first and second. Top two continue to pull away. Fisher and Minnick. Look out, Russ Miller spinning in turn 4. Miller's been running it sideways all the way around the racetrack for quite a few laps. Finally jumps out from under him and he spins. Jonathan Gatton spins to miss him. Yellow out for a 2-car incident. 1-car incident, make that. And Miller, the 19, stalled now down low in turn 4. Mike Mays in 72. 19 to go. Matt Dimmitt trying to hang on to that top 5 in car 7. Then P. Wormcastle, Brent Martin, Scott Coe, Derek Hoffman, Jerry Hammond, Jonathan Gatton, and out back Russ Miller, green flag out. Mike Mays tries to drive back to third around the outside of Corey Nuttall. Mays around the outside, Nuttall down low, give Mays back third place. The yellow-colored Little Red Hot Rod drives back around the Niner racing car. Now Nuttall forces the issue back to the inside. Side by side they go. Pete Wormcastle in the car number 9, the red car, and the blue, number 7 of Matt Dimmitt side by side. Mays way up the hill in 72. That'll give Nuttall third. Dimmitt able to drive back around the 9 of Wormcastle. Retakes 5th place. All that ahead of Scott Coe in 28. Steve Minnick Jr. suddenly all over the rear deck of the number 28 of Terry Fisher Jr. and looks for the lead. Steve Minnick Jr. trying to finish the season with back-to-back wins and problems for Terry Fisher Jr. Terry Fisher Jr. peels off and heads for the pits. New leader is Steve Minnick. Steve Minnick Jr., new race leader. Corey Nuttall finds himself second. Mike Mays third. Wormcastle on the move. Picks up 5th around Matt Dimmitt. Now Scott Coe left to withhold the team's honor on his own. And Coe tries to break into the top 5. Shocking turn as the normally bulletproof Coe team this year. Problems for Coe's hired gun Terry Fisher drops out, gives the lead over to Steve Minnick. 2 weeks ago, the season championship feature joked with Minnick Sr. and Jr. about whether or not they wanted to extend the season by about 6 more races. They said yes. Been all season getting this car dialed into this 3/8 mile, and here at the end of the year, looking to go back to back. And he's got more racing to do tonight. Minnick with a chance to double up. Only driver doubling up tonight. Nuttall still runs second, Mays third. 10 to go. Warmcastle runs fourth. Coe in fifth. Still with the lead is 37, Steve Minnick Jr. Steve Minnick Jr. clicking off laps like it's qualifying. Continuing to stretch that lead. Nuttall sitting second, Mays third. Only fight on the racetrack is fourth. Pete Warmcastle in the 9 trying to hold off the 28 of Scott Coe. Right behind them, the 7 of Matt Dimmitt. Coe tries to roll the outside on the 9 of Pete Warmcastle off turn 4. Warmcastle able to hold on to the spot. Now Coe tries it again through 1 and 2. Hitting the backstretch. Coe coming alongside Warmcastle. Warmcastle shuts the door on him. And Coe did not like that at all, and he drives into the back of 9 of Warmcastle. Caution out. Coming to restart. Green flag back out. Steve Minnick Jr. down the backstretch with the lead. Nuttall second. Matt Dimmitt back inside the top 5 in the 7, fighting with Mike Mays for third. Warmcastle way up to the racetrack in car number 9. Minnick still leads over Nuttall. Mays sits third. Dimmitt fourth. Martin in fifth. Then Jerry Hammond. Steve Minnick Jr. 4 laps to go for Minnick. Battle back in the field as Scott Coe tries to pick up as many spots as he can here in the late going. Around Gatton, around Miller. Now tries to sweep around the outside of Derek Hoffman. It took an entire season for Steve Minnick Jr. to get that number 37 car on track, and now he's 2 laps away from his second consecutive win. Nuttall still holds second over Mike Mays. What a finish this would be for Matt Dimmitt if he can hang on to fourth. Brent Martin fifth, Jerry Hammond sixth, Scott Coe seventh, Derek Hoffman eighth. 1 to go for Minnick. Steve Minnick Jr. heading down the back straightaway. Fantastic Sam's Modifieds wrapping up a fantastic season. It's going to be Steve Minnick Jr., your feature winner. Minnick takes the win. Nuttall will be second. Third to the car number 72 of Mays. Dimmitt gets fourth. Then Brent Martin finishing in 5th place.